Tonight, the opposition calls for answers following the tragic shooting of a Defense Force Marine at Government House. Also, a man brought before a judge today, and the charge is murder. And later, how roadworks have created a vexing situation for motorists. This is Eyewitness News.
Eyewitness News brought to you by Flow Evo, powered by BTC. Flow Evo is here.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Candino Knowles. Thanks for joining us. Off the top tonight, a family is struggling to come to terms with losing the head of their household after authorities say he was senselessly gunned down while on duty at Government House early Sunday morning. Petty Officer Philip Paul, who served on the force for over 30 years, was shot and killed by a lone gunman shortly before 3 a.m. while on duty in the guardroom. Now, that's according to authorities who say the shooter entered the compound and opened fire on 4 Defense Force officers. The 52-year-old father of 5 was the only person shot and died on the scene. Today at his home in Chippenham, the family was comforted by National Security Minister Marvin Dames, who told Eyewitness News that Paul was a family friend, and despite rumors, Minister Dames would not confirm whether the shooter was in fact a Defense Force officer. However, during Senate proceedings today, Attorney General Carl Bethel suggested that the suspect is a trained Marine. The AG made an urgent call for increased security at Government House. Paul's daughter, Michaela, said she would have never imagined her father would be killed at the hands of a fellow officer.
This is a drastic loss. It was tragic. Of course, this is unforeseen, unimaginable. Words can't describe the feeling, but it is a major loss in all of our lives. My brother is 14. He's graduating from junior school in a matter of weeks, I guess the next 7 to 8 weeks. That's a graduation that he will not attend, but never in a million years that we would have thought it would ever come to this. One of their own in the line of duty. That is unexplainable. That is unimaginable, highly unexpected, unacceptable.
Meantime, Paul's other daughter, Latoya, says this is a loss that her family will never be able to recover from.
My daddy was a hero. He was my hero, you know. He was there. He was present in our lives. And for him to leave home, we expected him to come back to call us. Even though we don't live here, it's like we live here because we're on the phone for hours, you know, and for him to go and say he's coming back and not to see him again while at work, it's distraughting.
Meanwhile, opposition leader Philip Davis is tonight questioning whether a change in policy by the Free National Movement government may have contributed to this tragedy. Sancheska Brown has more.
How was something like this allowed to take place in such a public space that was supposed to have been so secured?
The burning question by many following the shooting death of veteran Royal Bahamas Defense Force Marine Philip Paul, who was gunned down while on duty shortly after 3 a.m. on Sunday. While government has committed to increasing security of government buildings, opposition leader Philip Davis is questioning whether the new administration changed the policy, which called for 8 RBD officers to be stationed at Government House.
With only 4 being there, it would seem to be a departure from that protocol that was in place. And the question is whether or not there was a departure from that protocol and whether that departure contributed to what we have today or had today. And I think someone ought to answer that.
Davis also questioned why a government that claims to be transparent is allegedly hiding key details of the investigation.
Why would they not? I mean, it's been in the news, I think, voicemails over social media by actual Royal Bahamas Defense Force personnel saying that it was another. It's out there already. So why, as the officials, try to cover that up it asks and begs more questions. And why not disclose what has been happening?
Now, according to Dame, Sunday's tragic shooting snuffed the life of a dedicated officer who was unaware that the overnight shift would be his last day on the job.
A man, a family man, who went to work to make a living for his family, not knowing that it would end so tragic. And this is unfortunately part of the nature of the job of a law enforcement officer. And oftentimes one leaves home with strength and energy, looking forward to the work ahead, but not knowing how it would end.
Moving forward, the National Security Minister said that policies and procedures must change in order to protect government buildings, and an independent investigation will be launched. Francesca Brown, Eyewitness News.
Well, in response to the killing of Petty Officer Philip Paul, one local psychologist is suggesting that law enforcement agencies enforce debriefing sessions, particularly as officers may have to deal with numerous traumatic incidents on a day-to-day basis. April Sands sat down with a mental health professional who also suggested that a lack of psychological care can possibly lead to an incident like yesterday's shooting, and if unchecked, can perhaps lead to even more of its kind.
Anger feels good to the one who gets it involved in him or herself. It's powerful, okay?
Psychologist Barrington H. Brennan points to the breakdown in psychological treatment and the lack of hot debriefing for officers after having to deal with a number of highly traumatic circumstances on a day-to-day basis, as being the primary reason as to why many officers are left to deal with their anger management issues either alone or not at all.
We are more angry than we should be. We are. We are passive-aggressive as a people, that's generally speaking. We are withdrawn, don't respond to, but when we get angry, we lash out badly, verbally violently or physically violently.
His response comes in the wake of what many deem to be questionable circumstances in the guards room of the Government House early Sunday morning, leaving 53-year-old Philip Papal, a Royal Bahamas Defense Force officer, dead. Reports suggest that his murder came at the hands of another officer who Papal might have had issues with over the past. The incident has left many questioning the training and security measures of officers and even their mental stability to in fact uphold the law for the country and even for themselves.
When there's an incident, do we have an officer kill someone or an officer pulls a gun? Is there an automatic protocol, I use the word automatic, that these individuals must go through? One police officer told me 5 years ago that he could remember hearing the bullets passing his ears and his head. He can feel the breeze. He's just blessed to be alive today.
National Security Minister Marvin Dames on Sunday said that this matter highlights the need to pay closer attention to incidents like this one and to establish the proper protocols and procedures.
And I think to personal awareness, self-esteem, your self-concept, and the ability to manage the internal self. The intrapersonal relationship is first, and that will determine how you deal with the interpersonal.
April Sands, Eyewitness News.
A chaotic scene outside of the magistrate's court today between two families as 21-year-old Chadwick Capron, also known as Oldie of McQuay Street, shown in the navy blue pullover sweater, appeared before Magistrate Cara Turnquest DeVoe Turnquest, that is, charged with the Easter Monday murder of Brian Smith in the Chippenham area. Before court proceedings got underway, Capron pleaded to his mother that he was innocent. His mother then implored him to tell the judge who was in fact responsible. Capron was not required to enter a plea, and he was remanded to the Department of Corrections until May 30th for a voluntary bill of indictment. Meantime, police have launched an island-wide manhunt for 41-year-old Nigel Jamal Forbes, also known as Guy Fawkes. He's a man you're looking at on the screen right now. He's wanted by officers of the Central Detective Unit for attempted murder. He's described as having an average build, a dark brown complexion, and stands 6 feet tall. If you have any information on his whereabouts, you are asked to contact police at 911, 919, or 328-TIPS. And the Anti-Corruption Unit of the Royal Bahamas Police Force continuing its crackdown on financial crimes, with 3 more men charged today for engaging in fraudulent activity targeting local businesses. Matthew Moxie sat in on today's proceedings.
28-year-old Javon Miller of Opulent Drive, shown in the red shirt, and 30-year-old Dwight Ferguson of Fairview Heights, shown in the burgundy plaid shirt, stood before Magistrate Ambrose Ambrister to answer to multiple charges of fraud. Miller was charged with 11 counts of fraud, which included attempted fraud, possession of forged documents, uttering forged documents, and fraud. It is alleged that Miller attempted to defraud Discount Air Conditioning Supplies on Carmichael Road in order to purchase several air conditioning units with fake credit cards from international financial institutions such as Chase Bank, Capital One, Scotiabank, and American Express, all under the alias of Hezekiah Thompson and Floyd Oliver. According to court documents, Miller allegedly scammed the local air conditioning store out of approximately $10,000. Miller's accomplice Ferguson was charged with 1 count of receiving items known to be illegally acquired. Both men pled not guilty to all charges. The duo was denied bail and was remanded to the Bahamas Department of Corrections until their trial date, which is set for June 25th. Shortly after this arraignment, 23-year-old Lorenz Fraser of McCullough Corner was charged with 3 counts of fraud, which includes possession of a forged document, uttering a false document, and attempted fraud. Prosecutors say that Fraser attempted to cash a fraudulent check from Greenleaf Mortgage and Financial Services at the Bank of the Bahamas in the amount of $3,000. Fraser pled not guilty to all 3 charges, was denied bail, and has been remanded to the Bahamas Department of Corrections until June 24th for trial. Reporting for Eyewitness News, I'm Matthew Moxie.
Senators debating today a compendium of financial services bills in an attempt to improve the country's global ease of doing business ranking. Leader of opposition business, Senator Fred Mitchell, questioned what government is doing to help the small man, claiming that much of what government has done is only to help the rich.
I see the Deputy Prime Minister and the other places making fun about put money on the ground in Grand Bahama. Do you realize what that is? No cash when people have no money to spend. You could have all the macro arguments you want. If the fella can't go to the grocery store, if he can't take care of his girlfriend on a Friday afternoon, that is nada. Means nothing. Means nothing. So you can pass all the laws you want. And it doesn't mean because you pass a law that business is going to be eased. Because everything I heard today was about we passed this law. We passed this law. We changed this law. The question is whether on the ground it has made any difference, any of the laws you passed, to make people's lives better. And I would say no.
Now, in response to Mitchell's assertions, Attorney General and leader of government business Carl Bethel, who moved the bills, said much of the legislation has a trickle-down effect. He went on to accuse the former Progressive Liberal Party administration of squandering public finances, which he says could have been put to better use.
In order to do the micro, you have to do the big things. Okay, so if I may explain, sir, when we fix the big problems, you won't need individual ministers to intervene for John and Mary. Every independent audit by the Auditor General of every government agency under the rule of the PLP this last 5 years has found nothing short of chronic and almost deliberate waste, breaking of financial regulations, breaking of the rules that govern how the Bahamian people's money is spent.
Businesses may be forced to take some drastic measures if power outages continue. That's the word from Deborah Deal, who heads the Environment and Energy Committee for the Bahamas Chamber of Commerce. Bahamas Power and Light executives say rolling power outages over the past few days were the result of engine failure at its Blue Hills power plant, coupled with inclement weather. Now, this despite repeated promises by officials that blackouts and load shedding would no longer be an issue as the company looks to stabilize its resources. But Deal says the outages are having a negative impact on consumers.
This is really challenging. You know, first of all, BPL is our only energy company. It's not like we could go somewhere else. So that's number one. Our prices are very, very high, and a lot of businesses consider, what do I do? Do I pay my electricity bill or do I pay my staff? That's the point that a lot of businesses are at. So it's very challenging for businesses. And you know, the Chamber of Commerce, our concern is, how do we get people to actually want to start businesses? How do we keep businesses that are in business making income? How do we get businesses to actually be able to expand? We need that by proper power, consistent, reliable, cost-effective energy.
A freak accident taking place near our studios moments ago. We've got live video coming in from the scene on Farrington Road that shows a car that burst into flames after reportedly being involved in an accident. Eyewitness News understands that no one was injured in the incident. We are still awaiting official word from authorities on this, and we'll bring you all the latest. All right, we're just getting started in Eyewitness News, but when we come back, the repaving of Sir Milo Butler Highway called into question. We'll tell you why. And later, a new teen queen is crowned. Meet the new beauty when we come back. We've got more on that coming up, but first, here's a check on tonight's weather forecast.
We don't make the cars drive better. We don't make the boats ride better. And we definitely don't make the planes fly better. The one thing we do better at J.S. Johnson is give you peace of mind knowing that your insurance needs are covered. We understand how important your business is to you, whether you're just starting out or a national treasure. Let us take the risk out of your business. J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers, giving you peace of mind.
Together, we've come so far. As we celebrate Baha Mar's second anniversary, we thank every Bahamian for helping make this long-held dream a spectacular success. With the largest casino in the Caribbean and 3 of the world's most respected hotel brands, every day we live our vision, elevating Caribbean luxury to brand new heights. We introduced ourselves to the world.
You're all going to Baha Mar in the Bahamas.
And the world took notice. We welcomed new visitors to the Bahamas and shared with them our values of culture, community, conservation, and celebration. And we remain committed to the 5,000 employees who make Baha Mar a success. Thank you for 2 years of spectacular. And here's to many more. We are Baha Mar.
Surrounding the most prestigious communities of Western New Providence, you will discover corporate luxury. Welcome to Viridian, the most exclusive commercial development in the Bahamas. Enjoy deluxe, contemporary, and open-concept office suites with world-class amenities placed in close proximity to high-net-worth clients. This is where corporate meets luxury. To visit our sales gallery, contact 457-0508 or 438-6800. Viridian, where corporate meets luxury.
This portion of the news is brought to you by J.S. Johnson, Insurance Agents and Brokers, giving you peace of mind.
Your live look tonight comes from over South Beach, where the temperature is right around 79 degrees. We've got a low tonight of about 73. This is Eyewitness News. Welcome back. The opposition Progressive Liberal Party tonight calling on government to outline its reasoning behind recent roadworks on Sir Milo Butler Highway. Motorists and the wider public expressing concern, saying that there are other roads in the capital that are in dire need of repair. Janelle Longley reports.
What are they doing? What is the plan? Why are these roads being paved, and why aren't the more busy roads being dealt with first?
The massive undertaking by government to repave the Sir Milo Butler Highway being called into question by Progressive Liberal Party Senator Fred Mitchell. With other roads in dire need of repair, opposition leader Philip Davis is also querying the move.
Why Milo Butler at this time, when you have portions of East Street, portions of Coconut Grove, the Coconut Grove Avenue, Palmetto Avenue, other streets in the inner city, which cater to a lot of traffic, not being attended to.
The repaving has led to a traffic nightmare for many, with motorists taking to social media to voice their frustrations. Some said, open quote, "Of all roads that need paving, Milo Butler Highway, really? I really don't understand how they overlook East Street, Pinewood, and Gladstone Road. Still waiting for Pinewood by the roundabout straight up to the police station to be paved. Same thing I said. Whatever happened to Pinewood, East Street, Claridge Road? I wouldn't even talk about Soldier Road leading into Village Road. Soldier Road from the light by Prince Charles straight down to the light by Family Guardian needs to be paved badly." Closed quote. Following a massive New Providence Road project under the former F&M administration back in 2011 that totaled more than $100 million in cost overruns and the closure of several businesses, Davis is questioning who is the government working to benefit.
To whom their priority lie? Is it to the ordinary Bahamian or to the extraordinary Bahamian? I know there were some issues with the road, but it did not require the kind of urgent attention that this government seemed to be paying to it.
Attempts were made to reach Works Minister Desmond Bannister, but were unsuccessful up to news time, and the Director of Works Ministry, Melanie Roach, was not available for comment. Janelle Longley, Eyewitness News.
The Miss Teen Bahamas International Organization has a new queen today after 16-year-old Finea Nicholson won over the judges and the audience to take the coveted title. The 16-week program came to an end last night as the 9 beauties vying for the crown took to the stage at the Fusion Superplex. Nicholson, an Abaco native, said traveling back and forth from Marsh Harbor was trying, but definitely worth the trouble. Still basking in the excitement of her win, the teen queen explained her platform to Eyewitness News, Untapped Youth, and what it means to her.
I feel amazing. I just want to thank God for everything, because without him I would be nothing. The shaking still haven't stopped, but I'm very excited and I'm happy to see what other opportunities I have after today. It's very dear to my heart. It stemmed from seeing young people being complacent and not being able to perform what they need to perform, especially in family islands where there aren't facilities or things necessary for them to be able to express themselves.
All right, for more on her story, be sure to visit our website, ewnews.com. We'll have more highlights from yesterday's pageant. You'll find that and more of today's top stories. All right, coming up in sports, Randy Smith is off the top with all the latest action. Randy?
Danilo Shawnee Miller Weibo kicked off her outdoor season with the bang over the weekend. We have more on her performance coming up in Eyewitness Sports.
Hey, dang, I could walk she wants us in Chicago today. Honey, I get into the shop.
Okay, babe.
Hey, you gonna tell her which shop you're going to? You gonna let her know where you're going? Your priorities mix up. How much is that for your rent? My rent straight. Car insurance? Car insurance straight too. Lights, cable, water, groceries, leisure, things for the apartment. Okay, I got it.
Hey, what a lunch money for the children.
Take care of your priorities first. Remember, it's only a game, so please, game responsibly.
It's 5 events, 3 nights, 1 epic weekend. BTC and Click presents the Bahamas Carnival Experience from May 3rd to May 5th at Clifford Park and Arawak KB. Night 1 and 2. There'll be 2 stages, the main stage and the Click Light Foam Pit. For all you revelers who want to stay in the elements of Fete all night, we have an area just for you. And for you concert goers who just want to stay clean and enjoy the show, the main stage is all yours. Access to both areas are included in all ticket prices. So come and enjoy your favorite local soca and dancehall artists like Bunja Garland, Kes the Band, Dexter Daps, Patrice Roberts, and the king of soca himself, Machel Montano. Early bird tickets are only $14 for general and $60 for VIP for Friday and Saturday, and $20 for the Sunday beach party. Don't miss it.
Y'all want to win some money or what? I need some serious people on this stage. There she go. 200, 400, 600. Oh, she joking.
One of these gifts got a check for $10,000.
Oh,
1,000 the ball tonight. You're gonna need your own money.
the money in number 7. Well, boy.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Randy Smith, and welcome to Eyewitness Sports. Well, it was a busy weekend for Bahamian athletes around the world, but we begin with Shawnee Miller-Weibo, who opened up her outdoor track and field season with a new world-leading time in the women's 400 meters. At the Tom Jones Memorial in Gainesville, Florida, Miller-Weibo crossed the line first in 49.05 seconds. The time was the second fastest lap around the track in her career. In beach soccer news, the Bahamas men's team won its final international friendly tune-up game before the start of the CONCACAF Beach Soccer World Championships next month. The week-long event takes place in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico, and runs from May 13th through the 19th. In football news, Maven Saunders is making his first steps towards becoming a pro player. The former University of Kansas tight end has been invited to the Cleveland Browns rookie camp as an undrafted free agent. Sanders saw action in 9 games last season for the Jayhawks and hauled in 4 receptions. And in basketball news, Bahamian prospect Ahmad Harvey committed to Coastal Carolina University in the fall. The former St. George's standout averaged 14 points, 9 rebounds, and 3 assists per game for Spire Academy this year as a senior. Well, that does it for us in sports, but stay tuned. Eyewitness News continues in a moment. I'm Randy Smith. Have a great evening.
Ready for some fun in the sun? At Blue Lagoon Island, you can interact with friendly dolphins, playful sea lions and gentle stingrays, and frolic in the warm Bahamian sun. From now until April 15th, enjoy Blue Lagoon Island's beach day for as low as $39.99 for residents only. Blue Lagoon Island, authentically Bahamian, sustainable at heart.
The woman either win $10,000 or $50,000. Jesus Christ!
It all comes down to this. Sebastian, CEO of Island Luck, is presently in the air.
And we got ourselves a winner right here. Let me bring out the leader of the woman there. $20,000. Well, my God.
You're watching Eyewitness News.
All right, coming up and beyond the headlines with Clint Watson, more on the tragedy involving the Defense Force Marine that was shot at Government House and the issue of security at Government House. We've got more on that coming up and beyond the headlines that starts right after this. That does it for us in Eyewitness News. It's been a pleasure having you in our company tonight. On behalf of the entire news team, I'm Candido Nolan saying good night.